Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about all of the different ways that you can make money investing in mobile home parks. Quick thing though, I hope you guys like my new studio setup. I got a bunch of lights and stuff, so hopefully the visuals are a little bit better. But anyways, let's get into it. So the first way you can make money investing in a mobile home park is just buying the park and raising the rents to market. A big part of the reason why a lot of people are coming into the space, there's a lot of unsophisticated style owners of parks that they haven't done rent raises in so long that they're hundreds of dollars below market. So people can just buy a park, go in there, raise the rents to market, not take advantage of the tenants, but just raise it to the market rate they can charge and increase their cap rate and just own the park that way and just live off the good cash flow. The second way you can make money is contract flipping, aka wholesaling. So a big thing that a lot of people do in the mobile home park space right now, similar to how you do wholesaling in residential, you would get it under contract in a certain amount of time. In that certain time frame, you would assign it to someone else at a higher price and you collect that margin as a fee. But it's very difficult to do because you have such a small timeline and you're trying to essentially buy the park and put it under contract, and then you're going to assign it to another buyer for a higher price. There is a little bit of gray area with the law with this because a lot of wholesalers, they don't actually intend to buy the property, which is technically selling real estate. So now you're selling real estate not licensed. I don't wholesale in particular, I just broker deals, but I do know a lot of people that make good money wholesaling. The third way you can make money with a mobile home park is master leasing the property. So what you could do is try and lease the mobile home park for a lower amount than the NOI of the property is. What I mean by that is you won't have to do a huge down payment like you're buying the park, and all you're doing is leasing the property from an owner, and you have a spread between your lease payment and the NOI of the property to where you still make a profit margin in there. Again, that's very complicated to do because why would an owner relinquish his property to someone who didn't make a down payment and he takes pretty much all the risk if they default on their lease, so to speak. It doesn't really happen in today's market. I have heard of it a couple times in history, but it really is a rare thing now. Now next is another rare type. It's buying a mobile home park and piecing it out and making a profit that way. So for example, you might have a mobile home park, let's say one that we are actually working on selling. It's $750,000. There's 3 duplexes attached to this mobile home park. So what you could do is you buy the mobile home park, not cash flowing that well, but you sell off these duplexes for $100,000 a piece times 3, so $750 purchase price for the park. Only decreases 6 units because you're only selling off 3 duplexes, but you just got $300,000 back from those duplexes, and now technically your purchase price for the park was only $450, and now it's cash flowing really well. And then you could sell that park off separate, however you want. Some mobile home parks have a retail component, you could piece that off and sell it. There's a lot of different ways like that to make money, but that's another avenue that you could take. Next is probably what's more common in today's world is buy a mobile home park, rehab it, and flip it. What I mean by that is, let's say you have a mom and pop mismanaged park. You would go in there, bring in good management, improve the community, probably with some type of interest only type debt, or you would have some short-term debt on like a 5-year term. And over those 3 to 5 years, depending if you did interest only or not, you would rehab the property, improving the tenant base, cleaning up the place, managing it better, and then selling it for a higher purchase price. After that, there's also buying, rehabbing, and refinancing. So you would buy the property, rehab the park, and then you can refinance, aka essentially sell it to yourself to have longer term debt on it. Both of those 2 options, buying and flipping, buying and refinancing, are the 2 most common that you're going to see in today's market. Now another thing that's happening a lot is, like the buying, rehabbing, and flipping, or buying, rehabbing, refinancing, you also have people that buy like mostly vacant parks, like really bad, dilapidated parks, and then they bring in new homes, put in a lot of capital, bring in new homes, take a lot of losses on the homes. But because banks are financing parks now, you could take a loss on the actual home and essentially give it away for a pretty big loss to the tenant in exchange for just filling the lots really quick. The cap rate gets applied to the land income, not the park owned home. I'll explain this more in a video. I think I have other videos explaining this too, but what we are seeing is like really rough, bad parks. There's a lot of groups that are buying non-cash flowing disaster type parks, redoing management, kicking out tenants, bringing in all brand new homes and making it a thriving community, especially if it's near a major MSA. Again, that's technically the same thing as buying and rehabbing, but it is such a major rehab and capital expenditure. It's not like your standard investment where you're buying it at a certain cap rate, rehabbing it, increasing rents and increasing its value. You're really doing like a major overhaul on an entire community. And then the last way you can make money with it, which is what me and the company I work for does, we broker mobile home parks. So just like you sell a house, we sell a mobile home park. What we do is we facilitate a transaction. We know a lot of the key players and best buyers in your market, so you don't get led on by a wholesaler, so you don't get dragged on by a first-time buyer and things like that. We facilitate a transaction in exchange for a commission fee. We typically get you the highest price possible because we're kind of a barrier for us to create a bidding war between all of the qualified buyers, especially with how much of a seller's market is right now and how many new buyers are in the space. You deal with so many people that are just bombarding you with phone calls all the time. You don't know who's qualified, who's not. Even if you ask for a proof of funds, anyone can make a proof of fund letter. You got wholesalers that are trying to drag you on forever with these contracts with never intending to buy the property. People are trying to buy mobile home parks so quick right now because debt is so cheap and mobile home parks are so good. So I hope you guys like that video. That is all the ways that you can make money with mobile home parks. Make sure to like and subscribe. I try to respond to all comments. If you got any questions, comment below. I do have a private Facebook group with over 700 mobile home park operators and investors. Also, my email is in the description. And if you want to be on my buyers list to get access to any of my off-market deals, private deals, make sure to hit me up with my email, send a bio sheet on yourself, and I'll get you added to my list.